Far below the waves of our oceans lies a place almost no human has ever seen. A world without sunlight. A world where the pressure is strong enough to crush steel. Nearly 11 kilometers beneath the surface, at the deepest point of our planet's oceans, conditions seem too extreme for life to exist. And yet, something is living there. Creatures drifting through endless darkness. Animals that glow with their own light. Fish that survive where we once believed nothing could. To understand how life can exist in such an impossible place, we have to begin our journey near the surface and travel deeper into the ocean than most people ever imagine. At the top of the ocean, life is abundant. Sunlight penetrates the water, allowing microscopic plants known as plankton to grow. These tiny organisms form the base of the ocean's food web. Small fish feed on plankton. Larger fish hunt the smaller ones. And massive animals like whales depend on this chain of life. In this upper layer, the ocean is bright, warm, and full of movement. But sunlight can only travel so far through water. As we descend deeper, the ocean begins to change. But the ocean still gets deeper, and the deeper we go, the darker it becomes. So here, around 200 meters below the surface, daylight begins to fade. The vibrant colors we saw at the top of the ocean have started to vanish from the underwater world now. Red disappears first, followed by orange and yellow. Eventually, the ocean becomes a dim blue environment where visibility is limited. This region is often called the Twilight Zone. Plants cannot grow here because the light is too weak for photosynthesis. Without plants, food becomes limited. To survive, many animals here have evolved unusual bodies and behaviors. Some species are almost completely transparent, making them difficult for predators to see. Others have developed something even more extraordinary. They can produce light themselves. In this growing darkness, something unusual begins to appear. Creatures that create their own light. In the deep ocean, many creatures generate light using chemical reactions within their bodies. This phenomenon is known as bioluminescence. Flashes of blue and green light appear in the darkness like underwater stars. Some animals use these lights to communicate or attract mates. Others release glowing bursts to distract predators. And some predators use light to lure their next meal. In the darkness of the deep sea, light can mean the difference between life and death. And some animals have turned that light into a deadly weapon. Imagine drifting through the dark ocean when you notice a faint glow ahead. A small point of light swaying gently in the water. Curious, you move closer. Suddenly, the light vanishes, a mouth opens, and the predator strikes. This is the hunting technique of the anglerfish. From its head extends a thin structure tipped with a glowing lure. The light attracts unsuspecting prey in the darkness. Once something approaches, the anglerfish captures it with lightning speed. But even these strange hunters do not live in the deepest parts of the ocean. To reach those places, we must descend much farther. But the ocean still has much deeper places, and stranger life begins to appear. At around 1,000 meters deep, sunlight disappears completely. This region is known as the Midnight Zone. Here, darkness is permanent. The water temperature stays close to freezing, and the pressure becomes immense. Food is extremely scarce. Most animals survive by feeding on tiny bits of organic material drifting down from above. Scientists refer to this slow fall of particles as marine snow. To us, it would seem insignificant, but for many deep-sea animals, it is an essential source of nutrition. Yet even deeper environments still remain, and even the Midnight Zone is not the ocean's deepest world. Around 4,000 meters below the surface, we reach the ocean floor in many parts of the world. This environment is known as the abyssal plain. It is one of the largest habitats on Earth, stretching across vast areas of the seafloor. At first glance, it looks empty, a quiet landscape of mud and sediment. But life does exist here. Sea cucumbers slowly crawl across the seabed. Worms tunnel beneath the sediment, and large crustaceans move through the darkness. One of the most unusual residents is the giant isopod. These animals are related to the tiny pillbugs found on land, but in the deep ocean, they grow to enormous sizes. Some can reach nearly half a meter in length. Scientists refer to this pattern as deep-sea gigantism, though the reason behind it is still uncertain. But even the abyss is not the deepest place on Earth. In certain regions of the ocean, the seafloor suddenly drops into massive valleys called trenches. These features form where tectonic plates collide, and one plate sinks beneath another. The deepest trench on our planet is the Mariana Trench. At its lowest point lies a location known as Challenger Deep, nearly 11,000 meters below the ocean surface. To understand this depth, imagine placing Mount Everest into the trench. Its peak would still be far below the water's surface. The pressure here is overwhelming, more than 1,000 times greater than at sea level. For many years, scientists believed life could not exist in such extreme conditions. But modern exploration revealed something surprising. Animals were already living there. At these crushing depths, only the most specialized creatures can survive. One of the most remarkable creatures discovered in these trenches is the snailfish. At first glance, it appears delicate and fragile. Its body is soft, almost gelatinous. But this structure is perfectly suited to the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. Instead of rigid bones that could break under pressure, its flexible body allows it to endure extreme depths. Some snailfish species have been recorded at depths greater than 8,000 meters, making them the deepest fish known to science. Alongside them live large numbers of small crustaceans called amphipods/scavengers that feed on whatever organic matter reaches the trench floor. Even in the deepest parts of the ocean, life continues to adapt and survive. And in some places, life survives in ways that seem almost impossible. Some deep-sea ecosystems operate without sunlight entirely. Instead, they rely on chemical energy from the Earth's interior. Along cracks in the ocean floor, extremely hot water escapes from beneath the crust. These areas are known as hydrothermal vents. Microorganisms here use chemicals in the vent water to produce energy through a process called chemosynthesis. These microbes form the base of unique ecosystems filled with worms, clams, and other unusual creatures. Life here depends not on the sun, but on the energy of the planet itself. And yet, we have only begun to explore this hidden world. Despite centuries of exploration, the deep ocean remains largely unknown. Scientists estimate that most of the ocean floor has never been directly observed. Each new expedition reveals species that were previously unknown to science. Strange animals that glow, drift, or move in ways we are only beginning to understand, which raises an extraordinary possibility. If life can survive in the deepest and most extreme environments on Earth, what other forms of life might exist in the hidden oceans of distant worlds? The deepest part of our planet may still hold secrets we have yet to discover.